Hi, my name is Jeffrey. My pronouns are she, her, and they, them, and I am happy to be giving this reflection I have from the meaning and impact of slavery. So, something I really noticed about, especially in the beginning and entering the study, is that the white church, the white parts of the church, is taking responsibility instead of saying, just talking about how this was awful to happen, and just talking about the awful aspects of slavery without taking responsibility and saying we saw this happening and did nothing. I heard a quote the other day by someone who I know and really respect very well. There is no such thing as a silent ally, and that comes to mind when I think about this and when I read this. That sitting by and letting oppression happening is really no better than causing that oppression. And the fact that they are talking about how they had a hand in this by being complacent, by standing by, gives me some peace of mind, gives me some good feeling to know that this is something that they do not stand for, potentially in the future. The statement of slavery being supported by white religious, legal, and political figures was very interesting to read. And looking at the sentence of the people of Virginia were encouraged to evangelize their human cattle. The term human cattle really standing out to me. And I read Deuteronomy 12 through 15 about if you have a slave for 6 years, you have to free them on the 7th. And not only free them, but give them resources to live. Make sure they are able to live a good life post-slavery and in their freedom. And when I read this, it shows me how different the types of slavery I think are being talked about. Africans brought to this country were not freed after 6 years. And even Africans who were freed had nothing still. They had no resources. They had nothing to work with. Which is why today black generational wealth has not accumulated the same way that white wealth has. And it shows that the slavery we experienced in America is very, very different, in that freedom wasn't even an option. Giving them equity was not even an option, because they saw these people not as people. They saw them as human cattle. They saw them as inferior. They didn't think it would be worth it, so they didn't. And it says to remember you were once a slave in the land of Egypt. Which again is just another difference. This was not racial slavery. This was not racially based. This was not racially motivated, as the slavery here was.